that, it looks like I have bunny ears. If I don't move my head, because then it just looks like my ears are detaching from my main body, it kind of looks like I have glittering ears. I feel like the biggest idiot of all time. Seriously, do you see what I'm looking at? I'm looking at the ceiling of the fishing farm. Do you see anything wrong here? I've been fishing for days and days and days, trying to get mending book for hours and hours and hours. I didn't get any, first of all. Second, it takes forever to even get a little bit of loot from this. And then I finally found the mistake I've left for all this time. See that? Up there? There's no glass block in the dang ceiling. So, there's no sunlight access down here. And that means that the farm is like 3 times less efficient than it would be if I just do this. How did I miss that? So much time I could have saved if I found that earlier. At least it should work perfectly now. MaitreDesBlocs strikes once again. Hello, YouTube! This is MaitreDesBlocs, and today we're going to continue our Minecraft Let's Play, episode 54 of the Minecraft Let's Play series. How are you guys all doing? How's everything? How's Minecraft? How's with the new 1.11 update? How are you feeling about that? How are you feeling about the new Minecraft update coming? How are you feeling about stuff? Right now, we are the 10th of November, 2016, at the time that I'm recording this. And am I just crazy? Or does that look like I have bunny ears at the moment? The elytra wings, like, look at that. It looks like I have bunny ears. If I don't move my head, because then it just looks like my ears are detaching from my main body, it kind of looks like I have glittering ears. I don't know, that might be just me, but like, I can just like... swing my ears every now and then. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of the series. Last episode, we worked on this thing over here. This is the Iron Cave mechanism. This is the Golem Iron Farm Golem drop chute that we have. All the golems fall from up there, and then they get here to a room where they accumulate up to 11. They get crushed, and all the iron gets into the system. You know the deal. Basically, I wanted a machine to get me a stack of iron blocks every time I press a button. And this is what I was trying to work with here. I have 32 dispensers here, 16 on this side and 16 on that side. And both of those rows are activated with a single button press 18 times exactly, I think, and that gives me exactly a stack of iron blocks worth of iron, because it gives me 9 stacks of iron ingots. And I have to use the system, let this run, to get enough iron ingots to fill up all of these droppers. Let's see how far we are since last episode. This is filled up to here, 8, 10, and here it stops. The 11th one down here is starting to fill up. So we're about 10 of the total 32 filled up. So around a third of the way done to accumulate all of that iron. And that was all the iron I've ever gotten right there. So it's going to take a while until we'll have all of this filled up. And also I fixed the bug we were having last episode, in which when we press a button, these droppers were getting stuck on, I discovered. The bottom ones were getting stuck on. And I don't know why this happens, but I found a fix for it anyways. We have now a rail line going below here, and all of these rails get activated when we press a button too, for as long as the droppers are going to get activated. And for some reason, that provides the right update to the droppers, and they're not stuck on anymore. And I find this whole behavior is a little bit stupid. I thought it was part of the whole quasi-connectivity thing, but it doesn't even seem to be. I recreated a test up here with redstone lamps instead of the droppers to show this off. These are on top of each other, and with one redstone dust on top, like you would see for these droppers here. If I press a button, this button will power this block, which will power this redstone dust, which will power this lamp and this lamp through it. That should happen with the droppers too, because as for the lamps, they're also solid blocks. This goes perfectly. It goes on and off, no problemo. But for some reason, when I do it with these, the bottom ones get stuck on and then they do not unpower themselves no matter what until I break them and replace them again. Even if I place a redstone torch right next to it and remove it, they will remain on for some reason, and I do not know why that is, but now it works perfectly, so let's not tinker with it anymore. For those of you who don't know, last episode I showed you guys what I did with the bed spring machine here. This is a machine that will respawn us into this room here and equip us with armor before putting us up. I actually have an axis down here now, and it's into the basement of the farmhouse. I have a trapdoor that leads down here, and this is where we can sleep. The problem, and I addressed this already last episode, is that when we sleep, we spawn into the spring machine, and it puts us with armor even if we already have armor on, and it puts us up there. Then I have to come back down here and put the armor back into the dispensers. That's not what we want with this. We want a way to be able to sleep and still have our spawn here, but only get the armor when we respawn from death. So I have a fix to apply to this, and this was an idea suggested by Albatross MC, and he suggested that we could have a way that we would spawn in there without activating the dispensers if we slept into the bed from over here. So to do that, I would have to lock the repeaters that are going into the dispensers when we sleep without actually dying and respawning in there. And for that, I had a couple ideas, and one of the ideas was to use a tripwire hook system. So basically, I was wondering if a player in a bed would be tall enough in the bed to be able to activate tripwire above it. And that is not the case. I put a block here so we'll respawn here so we don't activate the machine, just to show you I can sleep. Or not, because it's daytime, dang it! Alright, it's nighttime once again, so I can show you what I was talking about with the string above the bed. If I enter the bed here, nothing is getting activated, nothing. But if I leave the bed, for some reason that does activate it. And it dispenses those things, which is not supposed to happen because I never stood on this tripwire hook in any way. So I don't know why it dispenses the items. I think there might be a glitch with the bed respawning. Maybe it respawns me here first and then teleports me before I can even see over there. Like if it's trying to find the position in which to put me at, and that is why all the armor gets dispensed. But anyways, that trick will not work. So my next idea was to put a button with a delay on it that will deactivate all the dispensers temporarily for the amount of time that the pulse is extended to. So I can sleep during that time, respawn that time, and the dispensers will not be activated. And that is what I want to try to do here and see how it turns out afterwards. It rains, it's nighttime, this seems like a good time to go sleep. So let's check this redstone thing out and let's hope it works. So if I just go down here, all I do is I come to the bed, press a button, jump in the bed, wait a couple of seconds, and I should respawn and not get any armor. And that seemed to have worked perfectly. Let's now look at the redstone below. To make this work, I had to rearrange the redstone a little bit. Basically, all I did is adding a comparator delay to the button over here. The comparator delay works like this. Basically, it sends a signal of 15 by the button here. The signal becomes 14 here, and it also enters this comparator. So this comparator transports the 15 signal over here and here through this block, still 15 here, and then goes through this, 14 here, 13, and then it goes through that, and so on. And every single time it loops, it diminues of 1. So eventually the signal becomes 0, and that is how the timer park works. So this whole system activates this repeater right here, which sends the signal into this redstone line that goes down here into this repeater that locks one of the repeaters leading into these two dispensers. The signal also goes to this repeater over here, which locks this one, and that locks it so these two dispensers are not powered either. And the last one on top is activated by the same redstone here, so that one is already locked by these two. So basically, just by locking this repeater and that repeater over there, no dispensers can be powered when we use a machine because these repeaters are powering those repeaters, if that makes any sense. And also I had to move this tripwire hook a little bit back because the tripwire hook itself was activating this dispenser, so I had to move it back so that doesn't send power to this. But apart from that, everything works perfectly, and I think the last thing we'll have to do to this place is pretty it up a little bit to make it look better. It's nighttime again, so let's take one last look at this thing. If I go into the basement of the farmhouse over here, and then I go down the ladder, now I refinished the area down here, polished, furnished, and finished. This is what it looks like. I don't know, I think it looks not too bad at least. I did a mix of spruce and oak planks for the floor, oak planks for the ceiling, and I put the fancy torches. And then I have, oh, don't mind that, I was opening the wiring to do some testing. And I rewired the thing so now it doesn't take a button and it takes a pressure plate because I kept forgetting to press a button. So basically I just did a repeater there that just does the same thing as before, connected to that pressure plate instead of a button. And I put a clock so I can see what time it is in the day. And then when I want to sleep, I just walk up to here, click the bed, and then I get right there. And when I respawn, I should be, well, not when I respawn, but when I get out of the bed, I am right here on the place. Perfect. Now, as much as I like redstone, I do not want the whole episode to be us doing redstone projects, because that's what we've been doing in the last 2 or 3 episodes, and I want to do something different. I want to actually build something. Get a building added to the village. I mean, seriously. We've had the farmhouse and this building, and I think also that building over there, and the fishing hut for so long. That's all we've been having in the village. No more building has been added since at least 10 to 20 episodes. And I think it's time for us to add something new to the village now. And what I want to add is something we'll put right here. And this was also a suggestion from the comments. I'm going to put the comment on screen right now. Someone suggested we should build a lighthouse. We could put a lighthouse over here. That is great because we could be going up the lighthouse and look at the sea because it's like right next to the sea. So that's perfect for that. And also the area here is not really big. So a tower would fit perfectly here. Instead of like a big house or something, a tower would just be perfect just sitting on top of the hill. We'll have to move the hill down a little bit because we're not going to put the lighthouse up here. But actually, we could do that. We could, if we smoothed out the front, just make the hill flatter on the top and have a path on the side going up to the lighthouse instead. But how would it be a lighthouse? How could we build a lighthouse in Minecraft? I was thinking about that and I was thinking, what if we put a beacon? Because we have only one beacon right now, right there at the UFO iron farm thing. And I was thinking it would be cool if we had another beacon because that one is out of range around the middle of the village. So this one would replace that beacon when you're over here instead. And I was thinking it would be cool if the lighthouse, instead of pointing a light to the sea, actually points a light up. Sure, it would be not really a regular lighthouse, but a Minecraft version of a lighthouse, or something interesting at least. But now the problem is, I need to get a tower design for this place, because I must admit, I suck at building most of the time. I'm not good at building on camera or deciding styles or anything at all. The buildings I did so far to the village, I all built them into creative first, and then build them over in the survival world. So I think that's what we're going to do again for this build over here. So I'll have to go into a creative world and experiment on some ideas onto how to build a pretty beautiful lighthouse that will light up the sky and provide us with some beacon powers in our home island right there. So let's get into a creative world and start building. First lighthouse build in Minecraft. Is it good? Is it bad? You can tell me. I tried to go with a medieval design for this and not a modern design, in case you wonder why it's not a red and white. It's because this is supposed to be a medieval lighthouse. And I searched for pictures online, and this is the closest I could think of to a Minecraft representation of what I saw in the pictures. And I think it looks pretty good. I am pretty satisfied with this. The outside is a little bit in ruins. You can see some vines going on the side and actual vines on the other side here to kind of make it some green. And I mixed jungle and oak leaves to add a little bit more variety to it. All the stone bricks types to make the wall look interesting. The top is just the classical walkway type with the lamps I love. And this kind of fence, the spruce fence with some logs supporting the path. The ceiling is spruce. And, oh, I just realized this is wrong. That is not supposed to be like that. This is supposed to be like this. And there is an actual beacon inside to pretend that this is the light itself that would be pointed at the sea. Although I can't really do that. I can't really do a light ray pointing at the sea. So instead, there is a light ray pointing up. If I go into here, there is a lever on the ground that can activate an actual beacon into the system with this. The beacon is activated. You can see it into this pole here. There is a beacon underneath the ground that does a ray up here through the beacon up there. So it looks like that beacon is doing the ray, even though there is no pyramid under it, but it's actually one underneath here. So that would need 2 beacons for us to complete this project. And the inside, I tried to make it a little bit wild and like disorganized, forgotten. Again, the ruin style of it. And I made this kind of flooring and some barrels and a crafting table over there and a spiral staircase going upwards with some lamps on the side. I am pretty satisfied with this. I think this turned out pretty good. And I went into the survival world and did some measurements, and this tower is not too big. Although I don't know for the height. I already measured this, and that would fit into the place we have, but the height, that would be towering above everything, including the trees. But at the same time, I think that would look pretty cool. I might just go into the survival world to check that this isn't too high for what we're trying to do. Let me just take a look at it at night to see how it looks like in a shade. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is cool. I like this. And if we go inside at night, this is what it looks like. It's all moody and spooky. Let me turn off the beacon so this stops flickering. There we go. Ooh. Yeah, I like the ambience of this. This is a success. And I think this is what we're going to build into the survival world now. So I have to head there and start doing the building preparations. And that is apparently how high the tower is going to be. That's pretty high considering the highest trees are just going over there. Well, that's a little bit taller than that. But it's not as bad as I thought it would be, considering all the other island is pretty much leveled here. That thing will just be towering up. But it's a lighthouse, I guess. It's a lighthouse and it's a tower, so towers are kind of supposed to be a little bit taller than everything, I guess. Also, I just discovered that, I think it was yesterday, replay mod got updated to 1.9.4 and 1.10.2, and that is great, because I'll be able to actually make a really cool time-lapse of me building this tower. You can see right now in the top corner, I am recording with the replay mod. Although this is going to be saved to the replay, and when I build the tower, I'll be able to show you from an interesting perspective and little flying around myself when the tower is rising up. So that is pretty cool if I can make that happen. So now I'll see if the replay mod actually works for this, because this is a beta. It is a beta, it's not a full version, so it might crash. And if it crashes, I am not too worried about it because I already made a backup before this. So if something goes bad, I will not corrupt my world or anything. It's just for testing. And if it works, we'll have a beautiful tower and an amazing time lapse. So if everything works out, the time lapse should begin now. Am I the only one that thinks that that moon is really, really big when you look at it like this? Like, look at it like that. That is like normal size, and then you do this and it's like, whoa, giant moon over there. Well, that makes sense, I guess, because today at the night, it is the supermoon today. Why do I say today so much? I do not know. But today, at night, there is a supermoon. That means that this is the moon that is the biggest since, I think, 30 or 50 years or something like that. Pretty cool stuff. So that works with that. You can see a Minecraft supermoon too, I guess. Anyways, we finished the lighthouse. We completely polished, furnished, and finished it. And this is what it looks like finally. The third main building, well no, wait, fifth main building of the village. There is a farmhouse, there is the library, there is a podium, there is a fishing hut, and then there is the lighthouse. And that is the biggest of all by a lot. And that looks really, really good. While being modest, I need to say, I am really proud of how this project turned out. When I just built the tower itself, I found it was a little bit plain and that I did not have enough detail to it, so I added the leaves on the side, I made the balcony more detailed, I left this, I was going to remove this at first, the cliff, but instead I redid it like I did with the cliff over here, and it looks pretty cool, and it also does some more variety to the front of the thing, because if you just see a big tower of stone bricks, it isn't looking that good. So by having all these things, breaking it up and making it more random, it actually looks better. And you can see the windows a little bit there, and also how to access to it is pretty interesting. I had to make a walkway up to there because at first I was going to do a staircase right here, but I was thinking that is a little bit too steep. So instead I was like, why not make a slope that goes all around the thing? And that is what I did with this. There are little supports, kind of, whoa, dang it! There are little wooden beams, I think that's columns should I say, that support the pathway like I did with the bridge. And they are 17 blocks apart with a fence. And this is what it looks like when you walk on it. It also looks really cool at nighttime because of the lighting being pretty moody around here because the lamps are so spaced out, which looks really cool having the shade around here. And this is the inside of the lighthouse. The spiral staircase, the 3 lamps, some vines going down here, leaves going there, barrels, and let me go up to show you the top. We have a really cool view of the village when you're up here. Like, look at this. Look at what this island is starting to become. This is really starting to take a shape. And I put this kind of formation all around, and I just realized now I don't need these torches anymore. I forgot to remove them. They were just for showing more when I was doing the time-lapse. By the way, I have a little recommendation for you from experience. Do not use the replay mod beta for 1.10.2 unless you're going to make a small clip. Unfortunately, I could not make any camera paths with the replay mod. It was loading the entities forever. Every single time I was trying to make a camera path. And for those of you who don't know, the camera path is what you see in some time-lapse when the camera does like a little swish around the building. When you see someone building, like the camera was going around the tower, I was thinking I could do that. But I could not because the recording was 45 minutes long. So I could not really do anything with it because of a glitch. I think it's a glitch anyways. So I decided to not do a camera path and instead do multiple takes of the different perspectives. And that worked perfectly. I think I already edited that out, and I think that is pretty good for a save for the fail that I had to do to deal with the bugs in the beta. So do not use the beta unless you're ready for some bugs being into it, because it seems to be still a little bit buggy, but what do you expect? It's like a snapshot of Minecraft. You do not expect it to be perfect. It's a test. It's a test version. Of course there are going to be bugs. But that worked anyways, and I got a pretty cool time-lapse out of that, so that seemed to be okay anyways. Also, I think I finally decided of a rule of what to do with this series about mods. For those of you who don't know, I've been using mods throughout the series. Every now and then I've been using different client-sided mods. And what I mean by client-sided is that these mods do not affect the world itself. This world is completely vanilla. Nothing in this world has been altered by mods. The only thing is, I've used some mods to do stuff on the client side of things in the game. For example, I installed Optifine in the past, I used that. I used Forge to run other mods, I used shaders, and I used Schematica, I used Replay mod, and another one that I forgot about what it is now, but I know there was another one than those. And I've been using those mods for various reasons. For example, Schematica helped me build these things from Creative a lot easier, and stuff like that I just wanted to try out to see how it would mix in with vanilla. The problem is Forge. Forge and Optifine are the problem because they actually, and I didn't know about this, but they actually modify some things in the world itself. For example, some mechanics of the game work in vanilla perfectly, but not with Optifine or with Forge. And that is a problem I have with this. For example, a chest with some stairs on top that are facing this way, just like this. These kind of stairs, not the upside down ones like this. Those chests cannot be opened if you have some stairs above like this, if you have Forge installed. If you have vanilla installed, it works perfectly fine. I mean, if you use vanilla or Optifine, it works perfectly fine. But if you have Forge, it seems to not work for some reason. That changes the things of that. And also the fishing farm designs with the trapdoors and the AFK fishing and all that stuff, that doesn't work with Forge either. And I also found out that all my tripwires in the world broke when I changed my world to have Forge when using the replay mod. For some reason, I had to replace all of them when I switched back to vanilla. And I do not know why that happened, but it's just another weird quirk of having mods installed. And with all those things, I have decided now of a rule. I can still use client-side mods in the series as long as you do not modify the world itself, but only if I put this world on a server. Basically, from now on, I want to have this world on a local server inside of my computer that I would connect to with a modded instance. So that way I have no risk of modifying anything of the vanilla world, and I would just connect with a client-side mod, and that would not break anything or cause any problems or any risks with the world. And that way I would still be able to use things like Schematica and the replay mod and all that fun stuff. So that is my new resolution for mods in this series, and I hope that was informational for you. It is finally time to wrap up this episode, but first I want to do a little update to the project board. We have not updated this thing in a while, and a lot of these signs now are inaccurate because I already completed the objectives that are listed here. For example, Grassify Home Island. All of the island has been converted from mycelium to grass, so we don't need that one anymore. We finished it. The finishing the zombie complex, that one still has some work to do, so that one can stay. The tree farm, I haven't done anything with that. Prettying the beaches, I already did that. I made all the beaches sand, so that can be removed. Blaze grinder, I haven't done. Making more village building, still working on it. I added one today, but there are still more to come. Zombie villager purifier, I did that one, that can be removed. Moving all stuff to storage room, I did that too. So now, we only have 4 out of 8 objectives left to do on this board, and I'll have to replace all of these signs again with nothing on them, so I can add more objectives to it some other time when we find some more projects to do. Anyways, that'll be it for this episode of the Minecraft Let's Play series. I really hope you enjoyed, and I really hope it provided you with some enjoyment for today. A smile on your face, a laugh, a chuckle, something good, because if I did, I'm happy. And that's all I'm trying to do with this. But anyways, that'll be it for this one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. MaitreDesBlocs